Alright, everybody. We're finally here. It's Batman v Superman. This is gonna be a hard one. Okay. Alright, guys. I've seen Batman v Superman. I've seen it twice now. And I have a lot of things I want to share, a lot of things I want to talk about. But before we get into that, I'm going to tell you that this video is going to be a little bit different than my last couple videos. So with this one, we're going to do it in two parts. First one that you're watching right now will be 100% spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about anything. At the end of the video, I'll put up a link to part 2 where we're going to go way more in depth, talk way more about the exact all the spoilery things we can, and just go full out on this video. But for now, sit back. This one's spoiler free. So my initial walking out of the theater thoughts were, I liked the film. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was a decent film. There were parts that had me on edge that I was loving, and the fanboy in me was like, yes, go, go, go. And then there were parts that I was sitting there being like, what are you doing to my two most favorite comic book characters of all time? And it's those thoughts that it's those combination of the two that make it so hard for me to come to a consensus about how I feel about this film. And so the best thing I can say is just that I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I liked it. Let's start with the plot. Probably one of the biggest reasons I have issues with this film. Mostly because this film has so many plots. Way too many for one film. I feel like this film could have just been an hour and a half of Batman v Superman and it would have been great. Let's talk some characters now, starting with Batman, who probably steals the show. Ben Affleck does a great job as Batman and Bruce Wayne, and pretty much squashes all doubts and all speculations I think people had for him. And in my opinion, this is probably the most badass Batman we have ever got on film. And Ben Affleck is probably my favorite Batman to date. And he's made me super excited to see him in Suicide Squad and super excited to see him in his solo films. Superman is great in the film as well. If you liked Henry Cavill as Superman in Man of Steel, it's pretty much the same thing in all the right ways in Batman v Superman. But I had one huge issue with how they characterized and portrayed both Batman and Superman in this film. I think most people will agree with me that it's a part that really takes the two of them on a wrong turn. Now, a big question for everybody was Wonder Woman and how they were going to portray Wonder Woman and how Gal Gadot was going to do in that role. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. They did a great job of her costume, I think, and they did a great job of her bracelets, her shield, her sword. Gal Gadot's performance was great. She was confident and imposing, and she put Bruce Wayne in his place at one point. That was super entertaining. And her fighting, it came across as exactly the way I would imagine Wonder Woman to fight. And it made me really excited to see her upcoming solo film. The only thing with Wonder Woman is the question, did she need to be in the film? No, she doesn't need to be in the film. It was great and entertaining to have her in the film, but it didn't really serve much to Batman v Superman. And then there's Lex Luthor, one of my other major issues with this film. Not so much issues with Jesse Eisenberg's performance, who I thought did a fine job, but it just wasn't the Lex Luthor I wanted to see. I guess the only thing I can say is, if you liked the way Lex Luthor looked in the trailer, you'll like him in the movie. If you didn't like him in the trailer, you won't like him in the movie. And then in terms of the Justice League member cameos, I liked them. They were entertaining, they were nice. But again, similar to Wonder Woman, they just didn't need to be there. Now, in terms of the action, really, I can't complain. All the action in the movie is intense, super impactful, really well choreographed, and all of them had me on the edge of my seat for the entire time they were going. The Batman v Superman fight, while I find a little short for a Batman v Superman film, was so good. And I was just a little boy sitting in my seat, watching, wide-eyed, finally experiencing a live-action Batman v Superman fight. And it was everything I wanted it to be. So, in terms of that, don't worry about the fights. The cinematography is one of the other great things about this film. And I have to give Zack Snyder some huge credit on this, because there was a lot of shots that had me super emotionally invested and really, really pulled me into the scene. And if it wasn't for the really disjointed plot, I would have been full board and full in 100% in this film. Is this the film that DC needed to catch up to Marvel? Unfortunately, no, it's not. Should you still go out and see it? Yes, oh my god, yes, go see the film. There are some amazing moments that will have you on the edge of your seat. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. But the question is, what do you guys think? So go watch Batman v Superman, come back, and let's have a conversation about it. So until then, guys, see ya. Honestly, Batman's great. Does it? Henry Cavill was great as Superman in Man of Steel, and he is great in Batman vs Superman as Man of Steel. Wait.